Rex, Cody, Thorn, Fives, some of the names of clones whose names went down in history as heroes of the Republic. Among those widely lauded in universe, however, were many more troopers with distinguished records and heroic feats who never rose to fame in canon. In today's video, we'll be looking at one such clone trooper. Nicknamed Denal, this clone was one of the most accomplished members of the 501st Legion, a hero among heroes. Although he's nothing more than an NPC in canon, in Legends, he proved himself a true Chad, worthy of standing beside such legends as Captain Rex. This is his story.
Attention, Sergeant on deck!
The 501st was undoubtedly the most famous clone trooper unit of all time. The unit saw action throughout the galaxy during the Clone Wars and continued to see action even after the fall of the Republic as Vader's fist. In this seasoned group of veterans, every single clone was exceptionally skilled. Even so, the clone trooper known as Denal stood out among the rest. After many years of service together, Denal became one of Captain Rex's most trusted squad mates. The clone captain came to rely on his experience and intuition to the extent that he would trust his judgment and assign him critical aspects of their shared missions. Denal, being a standard clone, was always willing to follow orders and trusted his superiors unquestioningly. It helped though that his direct superior was Captain Rex, a well-respected and competent leader. Denal himself wasn't far behind Rex, however. On more than one mission, he successfully took command of his squad and led them to completing their objective. Just from his equipment alone, one could tell that Denal had more skills than your average clone. Although his helmet was marked with the 501st's custom blue colors and he carried a standard blaster carbine, he often utilized many non-standard weapons and tools. During missions, he used magnetic cables built into his blaster and jetpacks. He was so proficient with the latter that he was assigned a custom jetpack with a built-in missile launcher. Where Denal really shone, however, was in his impressive log of successful missions. After his first battle alongside Captain Rex on Geonosis, Denal went on to have heavy involvement in the Clone Wars. He took part in several major operations and played a leading role in many of them. In 22 BBY, Denal was one of many clones assigned to a mission above the planet of Rusan. The primary objective was to neutralize Skytop Station, a CIS listening post. There was also a secondary objective, however, to rescue Anakin Skywalker's astromech R2-D2, who had been captured by a Trandoshan scavenger. The astromech had been transported to the station in preparation to be sold to the Separatists. As was revealed in Star Wars The Clone Wars, Skywalker refused to wipe the droid's memory bank, which made his recovery urgent. With the use of jetpacks, Denal infiltrated the station alongside Skywalker, his Padawan Ahsoka Tano, an astromech designated R3-S6, Captain Rex, and 3 other clone troopers. Upon boarding the station, the group split up, with Skywalker going after his droid and the other team vying to neutralize the station. Their progress was hampered by a ray-shielded door, however, one that R3-S6 was unable to deactivate. While they were waiting in the corridor, a group of battle droids found them and attacked. The clone troopers used EMP grenades to disable the battle droids, but the tide turned when General Grievous arrived. The Separatist commander knocked Ahsoka out and killed 3 clones. Rex and Denal were left stunned, but they survived thanks to Tano recovering in time to engage Grievous. While Grievous and Ahsoka crossed swords, Denal and Rex used explosives to detonate the repulsor lift generator that kept the listening post in the air. Denal fought his way to the hangar. His group was able to escape in the end, and the station was destroyed. Another one of Denal's key assignments involved a Separatist superweapon. When rumors of the weapon began circulating, the Republic made it their priority to locate and disarm it. Units of clones were sent to patrol the Outer Rim, where the device was allegedly located. Denal was sent to Roidia, where his unit was ambushed by a large number of battle droids after heavy artillery destroyed their transports. Denal, the CO of the unit, led his men to capture a comm relay station, which they later used to contact the fleet and arrange for a gunship to collect them. Captain Rex ordered the now airborne unit to make way for the Republic reinforcements to land. Denal single-handedly took out all the enemy droids in a forest clearing. The next stage of their mission was destroying a transport facility, which could only be done by triggering the self-destruct process. Denal took the long route through the swamp, destroying an MTT along the way before he completed the mission. The next stage of the assignment saw Denal land on Auto Plutonia. He was tasked with assisting a Jedi in distress. After rescuing the Jedi from a platoon of battle droids, Denal left him with Ahsoka, who had also been sent to assist him, and continued his mission. In short order, he helped in recovering a lost Republic weapons shipment as well as a missing gunship and its crew. Thanks to his experience, Denal became wary of the Separatist droids, as he suspected they were somehow able to avoid detection by Republic radar. From Auto Plutonia, he was sent to Tatooine to investigate a deserted Separatist base. The base, however, turned out to be swarming with enemies which had to be cleared away. Denal's suspicions regarding the new droid technology kept mounting when his scout reported droids they had otherwise failed to detect in the desert. When a secondary Separatist base was discovered in the desert, he led his unit to investigate. It was a Confederate research station likely connected to the superweapon. Clones had to act fast as the base was being evacuated, and every second lost increased the risk of the base's data being wiped. Upon arrival, they found a message from General Grievous that claimed the end of the Republic. Inside the base, Denal downloaded the superweapon data, disarmed a bomb on a console, then used the console to summon an enemy gunship they used to escape. The data recovered confirmed his suspicions. The new Separatist superweapon was a cloaking device capable of concealing entire armies. From there, Denal was bounced between several planets. On Rhodia, he was sent to infiltrate a Trade Federation base. On Tatooine, he was directed to a Separatist prison to rescue Ahsoka Tano. With the Jedi's help, he destroyed several Confederate bases that provided supplies to the main hub. He destroyed a construction yard that manufactured droid fighters. On Auto Plutonia, he infiltrated a research station and stole the superweapons plans. With a brief break to destroy a weapons facility on Rhodia, he returned to Auto Plutonia, snuck behind enemy lines with Tano, and infiltrated the base by using her lightsaber to cut a path through the ice. There, they completely destroyed the base and the superweapon. As you can see, Denal had a track record. He was sent on assignment after assignment and completed each and every one. But war is rarely kind to heroes, and even the bravest clones run out of luck eventually. Denal's final mission was in 21 BBY above the planet Deveron. General Skywalker led a mission to rescue Jedi Master Bola Rapal, who had been kidnapped by Duros bounty hunter Cad Bane. Alongside the Jedi, Bane had also taken a Jedi holocron from Coruscant, which contained information on all the Force-sensitive children in the galaxy. To recover this critical information, the Republic launched a direct assault on the Munificent-class star frigate that Bane commanded. After destroying the frigate's engines, Skywalker ordered the task force to board the vessel. Denal was one of those boarding, along with the Jedi, R2-D2, Captain Rex, and 3 brigades of clone troopers. While difficult due to the Republic Star Destroyers lacking dedicated boarding craft, the boarding was still successful thanks to the party's clever use of walkers with magnetic locks on their feet. This, however, was all part of Bane's plan to lure the Jedi in. He needed a Jedi to open the holocron for him, as Rapal had refused him and been tortured to death before the rescue party arrived. The Republic task force secured the bridge but failed to find Bane. Rex gave the command to destroy the escape pods, but that command was derailed when the ship's self-destruct function was activated. Against Admiral Yularen's orders, Skywalker refused to abandon the vessel without completing their objective. As they progressed through the vessel, the task force finally caught sight of Bane and gave pursuit, but were attacked by battle droids. In the middle of the fight, Bane deactivated the ship's artificial gravity. The clones had been trained to fight under such conditions, however. Denal ordered them to use their boots' magnetic grip soles. While R2 reactivated gravity, Bane made his escape with Ahsoka close on his heels. Skywalker tries to follow but was blocked by a blast door. An explosion caused by a battle droid detonating an ammunition cell separated the Jedi and the clones, at which point Skywalker ordered them to retreat to the hangar. While the troopers engaged a unit of battle droids guarding the hangar and a transport ship, Rex ordered Denal and Coho, another clone, to find the Jedi and escort them back to the transport they had secured, as time was short. Instead of Skywalker, however, the two clones found Bane. Denal tried to arrest the infamous bounty hunter, but the two clones stood no chance. Bane killed them both and used their deaths as his opportunity to escape. He removed Denal's armor and fled with the rest of the Republic forces disguised as the clone. He even faked his own death by throwing Denal's body into the lower levels, leading Skywalker to believe that retrieving the holocron was impossible. When the shuttle returned to the Resolute, Skywalker's command ship, Bane escaped in a stolen starfighter, taking the holocron with him. There you have it. Not all heroes get the ending they deserve, and Denal definitely deserved more than being murdered and yeeted into the abyss. Who do you think had a more unfair ending than Denal in the Clone Wars? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below, and as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.